feel like you should be. It's not a bad thing. It's just that you need to learn the proper tools and the things, the resources to help defeat those negative thoughts and turn them into positive, the action steps, the right people to be around. And many times you may need counseling or therapy. And we know in the Black and brown community, we look at that as, oh, you're crazy if you got to get therapy, or if you go to counseling, something is wrong with them. And it's not. Many successful people understand the power of having a coach or a therapist in their life, because it helps you to have a balance. And many times we get into different spaces in our life and that balance isn't there. So tonight, my special guest, who has entered in the back studio, is going to be talking about defeating self-doubt. She's going to give some of her testimony, what she's been through, and how she went about defeating her self doubt to eventually come out on top to start her own business and also write a book to help you empower yourself. So, self doubt comes a lot of times from childhood. It comes from our trauma, that's physical and emotional or sexual, neglect and abandonment, bullying, repeated failure or rejection, which I need you to understand. If you rewind to a couple of shows previously played, you will understand that failure plays an important role in your future success. You have to fail. It builds your strength. So rejection, everybody ain't gonna like you. Stop trying to be up in everybody's face, because everybody not gonna like you. But comparing yourself to others, social media have us doing that all the time. Looking, scrolling through, and you see something and you're like, wow, this person doing this, or I should do this, or I should try to do that. And those type of behaviors and actions and thoughts and occurrences throughout life can help to build self-doubt in your life. So self-doubt within your spirit and self-doubt within your person and your being. So on tonight, the conversation between me and my guest is going to be all about helping you to defeat that self-doubt, helping you to outgrow that self-doubt, and helping you to understand the value in who you are, walking into that undeniably me. And that's what my guest is, the author of that book, Undeniably Me. So let's get ready to introduce my guest to the studio, to the stage, you guys, because she's back there and I don't want to hold her for too long. But on the Stubbs show, if the conversation gets juicy and it's up and going, we're going to keep it up and it's going to stay stuck. How about that? It's up, then it's stuck. All right, let me focus. Let's welcome my guest to the stage. Help me to welcome my special guest, Miss Destiny Harris. She's a poet, writer, mental health advocate, and the founder of Educated Black Queen, a self help and wellness platform created to empower women and allies through personal growth, healing, and authentic storytelling. Destiny is also the author of Undeniably Me, a powerful poetry collection that explores self worth, resilience, identity, healing, and radical self acceptance. She is the host of the Educated Black Queen podcast and works professionally in the nonprofit mental health field, using both her education and lived experiences to encourage others to prioritize their wellness and recognize their worth. Tonight, we're having a conversation that I believe so many of us can relate to: overcoming self doubt, learning to believe in ourselves, and finding the courage to embrace who we are. Help me to welcome my special guest to the Stubbs Show. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Stubbs Show. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can you hear me? Is there a delay or something in it? I'm just making sure.
Oh, I'm really excited to be here tonight. I think I'm trying to see if your mic was working for a minute there.
Yeah,
Can
I
you all
have it
hear
on.
me
Can you hear
okay?
me now? Can you hear me now? Uh-oh, you guys. I don't know. Can you hear me?
No, I could see you. I just can't hear you.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on 1 minute. Yeah, you guys, technical difficulties happen sometimes. This is a live show. Let me see if she can log out and come back in and see how that works. We're not gonna let this show go without being heard because tonight we're talking about self-doubt and somebody don't believe that they can do something, and I want to let you know that you can. So us together, we're gonna have a conversation about self doubt and bring you back up because a lot of times we are still holding on to the trauma of our past. We're holding on to the things that our parents told us and how we were raised, and just looking at our previous circumstances, thinking that we can't do something now. I recently went into a place of isolation, and I'm a summer person. And let me tell you, I love getting out. I love having a good time. I love being amongst the people, dancing, and just, celebrating life. But something happened before summertime kicked in, and I went into this sense of isolation, not on purpose. I didn't plan it, I didn't fast about it. It just happened. And now I'm stuck in this place, but it's not really stuck because in isolation or this place of boundaries and identifying and learning more of who I am and healing, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm healing, I'm growing, and I'm learning who I am, and I'm being still. So many times we just be moving around. We here, we there, we everywhere. And then we wonder why our life is everywhere or we can't figure something out. Well, sometimes you just need to sit still, be patient, and work on you. Stop pouring into everybody else, but really, really, really pour into you. So let's see if we can add her back. Okay, so how's it going? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Great, great, great. See, we didn't let that doubt stop us. We said, we're gonna keep it going. So welcome to the Stubbs Show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I actually, yeah, you said thank you for having me. So let the people know, where are you joining us from?
I am joining from Orlando, Florida.
Okay, shout out to Orlando. Was it raining cats and dogs there today?
It's been on and off. It was pretty sunny today, though.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, I thank you for joining us and coming on to help us to conquer defeating self doubt and getting rid of it. And I hope that our discussion lands in the right ears and with the right people, and that we help to motivate them. So, you ready to get this interview started?
Yes, I am.
Let's go. So, when we see Destiny today, the author, the advocate, podcast host, and founder, we see the accomplishments. But who was Destiny before all of this started?
So before all of this started, I was the quiet girl with big dreams. I was always creative from a young age. I earned my bachelor's degree in multimedia journalism from FAU, and I earned my master's degree in nonprofit management from UCF. And I was always growing up very observant and introverted and always feeling things very deeply, but I didn't necessarily have the confidence or the language to express all of that out loud. So I spent a lot of time believing that my worth was connected to what I could accomplish. I thought if I got the degree, I got the job, I worked hard enough, made people proud, and kept achieving, that somehow that I was enough. A lot of my journey has been learning that my worth isn't something I have to earn through productivity. And that's really where undeniably me comes into play. It's a story of becoming, and from silence and survival to confidence, softness, healing, resilience, and ultimately joy.
Hmm. I like that when you said about you learned that your self worth isn't attached to things or people and things of that sort. And I think that a lot of people, it's like when you hear the word priceless, peace is priceless, self worth is priceless, confidence is priceless because you can't buy it. And people think that you can buy it, and it just lasts temporary when you tie your happiness and your self-worth to things. So you mentioned your book and you started writing your thoughts and emotions in notebooks around the age of 16. What was happening in your life at that time that made writing become an outlet for you?
Yes. So to tell you the truth, I have been writing as long as I can remember. Even as a child, I would actually end up falling asleep with a pencil in my hand, and my mom would actually have to take the pencil out of my hand because I would just be have a notebook and pencil in my bed and just writing until I was asleep. So it's always been just something I do whenever I have something in my head. I just have to get it out on paper. But around the age of 16, that's when writing became much more intentional for me. My notebooks became a place where I could put my emotions and experiences that I didn't know how to necessarily express out loud on the paper. And it was just a safe space for me. I remember a lot of Christmases growing up. I got a lot of journals from family members, cousins, things like that, because they knew I loved to write. And I didn't know I was becoming a poet. I just knew that writing gave me a place to be completely honest and authentic. And I could be angry, confused, hopeful, insecure, ambitious, all of that on the same page. And so looking back, I realized that writing gave me a voice before I fully understood how to use my voice publicly. And those notebooks eventually became the foundation for the woman who would go on to publish a poetry collection.
Yeah, isn't that something how when we get further along in life and look back, we see how the things that was happening in our life and our past and activities and the thing our interests tie and experiences tie right into our gifts and who we become in our future. But you don't see that until you get fast forward to that time. And that's where that patience comes in at. So my next question is on today's show. It's all about self doubt. When we say self doubt, what does that actually look like in everyday life, and what are some signs people may not realize that are connected to doubting themselves?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to self doubt, it's really much more subtle than people realize. Um, it can look like constantly second guessing yourself, asking everyone else for their opinion before you trust your own decision, a lot of overthinking, a lot of feeling like you need permission before you pursue something, or not applying for an opportunity that could be a really great fit for you because you don't think you're qualified enough. And I talk about that in one of my poems, Imposter Syndrome comes into play a lot. And it's something I've experienced in real life. And it can also look like perfectionism and people pleasing and overworking. So sometimes we're not saying, I don't believe in myself. Instead, we're saying, I just need to work harder. So it can show up in that way. And beneath like all of that under the surface is where have the belief that what we've already done isn't enough. And so that's like really at the very like core level of it. So self-doubt doesn't always look like insecurity. Um, Sometimes it can look like constantly trying to prove yourself.
And you brought up people pleasing. Do you think that social media plays a big part in helping people to develop a lot of self doubt?
Yes, I do believe that social media plays a role. It's not the only thing that plays a role in self doubt, but it can lead to self doubt if you're constantly online, comparing yourself to other people and looking for that outside validation and likes and follows and things of that nature. And I think there's good and bad to both sides of it, but again, it's how you use it and how you set that boundary of what you're allowing your others to really be able to have access to, and how you present yourself to the world. So that all plays a part in your own self doubt and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I'm really big on telling people like you need confidence in everything that you do. Like before you do anything, work on building that confidence, which is also defeating self doubt. So that when you walk in a room, you know you belong in that room. When when you go for a job interview, you know that's the job for you. And then I believe that confidence is contagious. So when you speak a certain way, when your energy is a certain way, people just gravitate to you. It's like, oh, okay, let me see about this person. But then it also brings up some haters because you had some people that dislike you because your
Mhm.
confidence is to a certain place and theirs just isn't that yet, or they feel intimidated. Um, my next question before we get ready to take a break, I have a few things that I believe that cause self doubt, and I want to know where do you think which one builds the most self doubt? Um, our upbringing, rejection, past failures, comparison, trauma, or something else.
Yeah. I think it comes from all of those places and it's different for everyone. Sometimes it's something repeatedly told to us when we're younger. Sometimes it's rejection, failure, comparison, trauma, or experiences where we're made to feel like our voice was too loud, our dreams are too ambitious, or our presence was too much. And sometimes we internalize experiences that weren't actually a reflection of our worth. Um, I remember telling a classmate back in elementary school that I wanted to become an author as a kid, and they literally laughed in my face. And I remember that. And that stayed with me for a really long time. For a while, I think moments like that can make you question your dreams and if they're realistic or whether you're being foolish for even saying them out loud. But when I got to high school, something shifted. I became the treasurer of our literary magazine, published my first poem, and I had both my creative writing teacher and my English teacher sophomore year tell me they saw something in me. And they saw the writer in me before I fully could see that in myself. And there were other moments where, in between that time that occurred too, I did poem actually at my great uncle's funeral, and I was maybe like 8 years old, and I wasn't, really worried about my confidence or anything like that. I just got up there and I just started speaking from the heart, and it resonated with so much of my family to that even to this day they still remember me doing that. And looking back, I think I needed both experiences. The rejection definitely made me stronger, but the encouragement also gave me hope. And honestly, there are also little parts of me that thought I'm going to prove that person wrong, right? But ultimately, I realized I didn't want my life to be about proving someone else wrong. I
Yeah.
wanted to prove myself to myself that that little girl who said she wanted to become an author was onto something. And that's something that I've had to learn myself, is that an experience can affect you without defining you. So you can go through something painful, acknowledge it, um, and it may have shaped you in some way, or shape, or form, but allowing it um, to kind of pass in that moment and realize that it doesn't have to become your identity, I think is really where that power comes from.
Hmm, I like that. I like that. We're getting ready to take a quick break, you guys, here on the Stubbs Show. Today, we're talking about defeating that self doubt because you need to defeat it. It's holding you back and it's stopping you from doing the things that you need to do. We're getting ready to take a quick break, you guys. Remember, I'm looking for some music. I'm looking for your commercial to play throughout the break, upcoming community events, and so much more. So I'm getting ready to take this quick break, and then I will be right back with much more here on The Stubbs Show. Share, share, share.
Hello, this is Angel Y, owner of Home Helpers of Waldorf, Maryland. Are you in the Southern Maryland region and in need of non medical in home care? Well, maybe we can assist you. Some of the services that we provide are assisting with bathing, medication reminders, companion care, and so much more. Check out our website to see all the wonderful ways that we can assist you at www.homehelpershomecareofwaldorfmaryland.com. We also are providers for our veterans. I look forward to hearing from you.
Is it time to get your fluffy, scruffy pet's hair done? Look no further. Pooch Styles Pet Grooming, in operation for 14 years in the Forestville, Maryland area, is ready to serve you. Give us a call at 301 456 7081. 301 456 7081. We're looking forward to servicing you and your furry loved one.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stubbs Show with your girl Stubbs and my special guest on talking about defeating self doubt, author Destiny Harris. And before we left, we were just talking about the many things and ways that self doubt can stop you. So I'm getting ready to bring her back to the station. We can learn more about her book, Undeniably Me, and about her podcast because she has her own podcast show. Hopefully, she'll bring your girl Stubbs on. We don't know, but. We're going to learn more about all the wonderful things that she got going on and that she does, and keep this interview going and moving along because we don't want you to have no self doubt. You ready, Destiny?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so you've written about well, your book is called Undeniably Me. Who were you trying to convince that you were enough when you started this journey, other than people or yourself?
Yes. So I think that a lot of this was honestly for myself. It's kind of funny because when I started doing the illustrations that accompany the poems that I wrote, all of the illustrations I did myself. I was told like, "Oh, that looks like you," and I wasn't even trying to make it look like me, and it just kind of all worked together. But initially, I thought maybe the book was going to be about telling other people they're enough. But the deeper I got into writing, the more I realized that I was having the conversation with myself. And the title became a declaration. And I'm not asking anyone else to validate me anymore. Um, that's why I believe you don't necessarily have to become someone new. Sometimes you have to return to who you've always been, underneath the fear, the expectations, the rejection, and other people's opinions. One of the poems in Undeniably Me that is very special meaning to me. This was inspired by the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion, also known as the 6888, was an all Black, all female unit of the Women's Army Corps that served overseas during World War II. And these women were responsible for tackling an enormous backlog of mail for American service members. Their work may sound like it was really simple, sorting mail, but that mail represented a connection, and it represented families being able to hear from their loved ones, and soldiers knowing that somebody back home was thinking about them. And this history is personal for me. My great grandmother's first cousin, Elizabeth Lamb Shepherd, was a member of the 688. And so when I learned more about these women, it wasn't just history for me anymore. There was a personal connection to this group of women who served their country and whose contributions weren't always given the recognition they deserved. And that's something that I really want people to understand about Undeniably Me. Sometimes history isn't as far away as it may seem. Sometimes the people we're reading about in history books are connected to our own families. That's also why I encourage people to watch the 688 movie on Netflix, starring Kerry Washington, directed by Tyler Perry. The film tells a story of these women and it brings their experiences to a much wider audience. And I actually shared the movie because I feel like it's more than just a movie, it's a moment. And it's an opportunity to remember history that we cannot afford to forget. These women were unsung heroes, or as I like to call them, sheroes. And I want their names and their contributions to continue to be spoken. For me, writing this poem is another way of doing that. It's my way of saying, I see you, I remember you, and I'm making sure someone else remembers you too. And knowing that Elizabeth Lamb Shepherd was a part of that history makes the poem even more meaningful to me because now I'm not just writing about Black history, I'm writing about a piece of my own family history. And another poem I have is called Black History. And it's about the history that cannot be erased, even though um, right now we've seen there have been many efforts to erase, minimize, and sanitize parts of Black history. But you can't tell the complete story of this country without talking about the contributions, struggles, and accomplishments, innovations, and sacrifices of Black people. You can't do it. So I wanted to
No,
make that
no.
point through the poem and the artwork. I illustrated several historical figures alongside the poem, including Charles Young, Malcolm X, Barack Obama, Gwendolyn Brooks, Lucille Clifton, and Althea Gibson. And each person represents a different kind of barrier being broken. Barack Obama represents being a major political barrier as the first Black president of the United States. Charles Young represents military leadership and achievement. He was the third African American graduate of West Point and ultimately became the highest ranking Black officer in the US Army at the time. And Gwendolyn Brooks represents literary achievement. She became the first Black writer to win the Pulitzer Prize, winning for poetry in 1950. And Lucille Clifton represents the power of Black literature and poetry and the importance of telling stories in our own voice. Althea Gibson represents breaking racial barriers in athletics. She became the first Black player to compete at the US National Championships and later broke barriers at the Wimbledon in professional golf. And Malcolm X represents the power of challenging people to think critically about race, identity, dignity, and self determination. I wanted those people represented visually because the artwork is not just decoration, it's another way of telling a story.
I
They
like
say
that.
picture is worth 1,000 words. I have 30 of them in there, including the cover art I designed as well. And I had the opportunity to go to the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. And if you
Woohoo!
haven't
Thank you for
gone,
coming to
it's
visit.
a life-changing experience. Just the
Yes.
historical representations of people was incredibly inspiring to me, and I put that into my work. Someone with Autism Loves Me is another poem in Undeniably
You
Me,
know,
and
Destiny,
it's
I don't mean to
extremely personal to
interrupt.
me because my
Can you hear me, Destiny?
brother, he uh, also is on the autism spectrum,
Can
Rudy.
you hear me?
And the illustration
Can
on
you hear
page
me?
20 is actually of me and
I'm
him.
chiming in.
And one of the messages I really wanted to
She wakes up.
communicate through that poem is that autism does not define the entirety of who someone is. There's a line in that
Hold
poem
on,
that says,
Destiny. Can
"No
you
two
hear
on the
me?
spectrum are alike,
Destiny.
so don't you dare compare." And that's something I've always tried to reinforce with my younger brother. I want him to know that he doesn't have to fit someone else's idea of what autism is supposed to look like. He is his own person. I want him to love himself exactly who he is, to be bold, to be loud, to be proud, and to be unapologetically and undeniably himself all the way through. And there's another piece of the book that people might not realize, that the cover art was actually the colors here represent a spectrum. And he picked the colors of the book on the cover, and I drew the cover art. So um, it really has a deep meaning, every single page, every single line of this book. And I love that because it's ultimately about embracing who you are.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I think you went out again.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I think I may have to hop off and hop on again.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
All right. I was wondering what happened because I was like, I was trying to get on up in there so that y'all can get the information to where to purchase the book, and she went all the way into the book. So if you haven't gotten the book, you know what chapters are in the book that you need to chime into. And let me tell you, when she started talking about undeniably me and her book and her purpose and the logic behind the book, did you hear her, Peppa? Hell, let me tell you, I started thinking about that song, You Can't Make Me Doubt Him, because I know too much about him. She said, hold on, this is my stuff. This is what I know about, and I'm gonna really perk up and talk about the undeniably me, because that's what she said. She thought she was writing a book for us, which it is for us, but it was like a statement moment for her where she just jumped in, and then she was writing and she started to notice that she was talking to herself. And that happens a lot of times in life where we'll go through stages, we'll go through seasons, and we'll be thinking that we're doing it for someone else when the whole time it was for us to gain the experience, for us to gain the lesson, for us to gain the knowledge, and for us to get prepared for something that's in the future. So she might have started writing at 16, but and other people notice some. That's another thing. Some people around you would notice things in you before you even notice it within yourself. But I think we have her back in the backstage of the studio, so we're going to bring her back so we can continue to talk about self-doubt, because when we got into undeniably me, she perked up. Some said, whoa, I'm here. Here I go. Here I go. So I want to keep chiming into that part of Destiny so that we can help you to get rid of some of your self-doubt and let you know where you could purchase her book and support and follow her. So let's bring her back on stage. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I am back. Welcome, girl. Let me tell you, I don't know what's going on with this internet on today, but we're gonna make it happen. So I was just trying to chime in really quick to let the people know where can they purchase your book at or connect with you.
So my book, Undeniably Me, is available on Amazon in paperback, hardcover, and ebook formats. You can also find it on my website, www.edublackqueen.com. That's also where you can follow me on my social media is attached there. I'm on Instagram at edu underscore CATED Black Queen. Also on Facebook, and then YouTube as well. And then you can also find my podcast on there as well. Educated Black Queen is the name of the podcast, and it is also on Spotify.
Now to make sure I have the website correct before I post it, did you say edblackqueen.com?
EDUBlackQueen.com.
Okay. It is up on you guys' screen on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Is that right there? EDUBlackQueen.com?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're going to continue this interview and get back into our conversation of self doubt. So, my next question to you is, can someone appear confident on the outside and still struggle heavily with self doubt internally? And what might that look like?
Yes, so um, it is possible to struggle with self doubt. Um, and even someone who's, we see very highly successful, accomplished, showing up for everyone else, but privately, they may be really questioning whether they're enough, if they're good enough, if they're able to like meet all of their goals. Sometimes it can be perfectionism, it can be over preparing. It can be just being afraid to make a mistake, having a lot of anxiety that's kind of behind the scenes. It's always seeking reassurance, feeling like they might be one step away from being exposed and don't really know what they're doing, and just afraid to make, mistakes. So sometimes the person everyone they describe as so confident is actually like really simply trying to learn how to function despite of their self-doubt. So I think there's a very uh, important distinction between confidence doesn't mean that you never experience fear. And sometimes confidence is doing the thing while you're still afraid.
I like that. Doing the thing while you're still afraid. That's confidence. That's faith. And it's actually taking a leap of faith. I thank you so much for joining us here on the Stubbs Show on tonight. I have one final question for you before we leave because I got to make sure that we inspire, motivate, and encourage our viewers. And I have to have my guests leave a closing statement. So, my final question for you on today is, what would you say to the person who has spent so much time comparing themselves to others that they've forgotten what's special about them?
Yes, I would say that you don't have to become someone new to be worthy. Sometimes you simply have to just return to being yourself authentically, and underneath all of the fear, expectations, and rejection, and other people's opinions, your experiences may shape you, but they don't define you. So your voice matters. I would tell them your story matters, and your well being matters. And you are undeniably you.
There it is, you guys. Make sure you check out her website so you can get a copy of her book. It's right there on the screen, www.edublackqueen.com, where you can find out more about her podcast and upcoming events, books, and so much more. I thank you, Destiny, for joining us here on the Stubb Show. We will be repurposing this interview and putting it out for the people to help them to remove their self doubt. And you have an amazing evening, and we'll stay connected. If you coming back to the DC area, you got to connect with your girl Stuff so we can have this conversation in person.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you. All right, you guys. Remember, don't forget to continue to share and comment throughout the week. We know that the Stubb Show, sometimes you don't catch it live, but when you catch it when you go back and catch the replay, you can still comment, share, and be a part of the conversation. That's actually what I want you to do. And I want you to check out my guest website at www, and put it on the screen again for you guys, edublackqueen.com. Follow us throughout the week on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we'll be reposting some of her stuff in our story, and also repurposing and sharing this interview. I'm getting ready to take a quick break, and then when I come back, we're gonna get ready to end out the show. I'm gonna give my opinion, a few things that I wanted to say on self doubt, and I gotta guess what. I finally think that I have the video that your girl is in. Yes, I was a video vixen once. Shout out to Mo. So, you guys stay tuned. I want to take a quick break, and then when I come back, I'm gonna see about getting that video up for you guys, so you can see your girl being a video vixen. I was that girl. I hope my kids say that when they do the review, the rewind of, oh, let me see what your mother was like back in the 90s and the 2000s, and they could be like, oh, my mother was that girl, that woman, that queen, that all those great things. Let me take a break, you guys, here on the Stubbs Show. I really appreciate your support. I actually have actually, let's just get into this really quick because I'll be everywhere. Y'all know I will. Come on now. Somebody come save me. Come save StreamYard from me.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I just want to let you know that I am seeking book authors to become a guest on our show. Now, it was Instagram Live, but now we're on all three platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So, this is your way to grow and reach more people. Don't forget to email us at the LOF Network at gmail.com. And you can become a guest on the show and also have your book placed within the show. All right, you guys, I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Hello, this is PW Wedding Officiant. Let's make it official. Contact us today, 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 today. Contact us today.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stubbs Show. Remember, yet again, I am looking for some hair to wear on the show, some jewelry, nails, because they're doing a press-on thing, and I'm getting into it. Some fashion items, and I also would like to include your book as part of the show and put it on my lovely bookshelf. So you guys, make sure you connect with me. I'm going to go ahead and put the email address up on the page so you can check that out. It's right there. Oh, that's the every Monday one. Now hold on, work with your girl. There we go. Make sure you email me at the LOFnetwork at gmail.com so that you can have your commercial play, or let's connect. Let's see how we can partner or barter. I'm into bartering. That's how I'm growing, you guys. A lot of people forget about bartership. That helps you to grow. But tonight's show was all about self-doubt. And it was important to me to talk about that because a lot of people in today's world are killing people, killing themselves. They're not moving forward. They're stagnant, and they feeling like they aren't who they were created to be because of self-doubt. Listen, when you start a business, when you take a leap of faith, when you heal yourself, when you change in life, when you go through a transformation from the old you to the new you got to understand sometimes you got to let go of what grandma told you was the right thing to do. You got to let go of mama and daddy ways of living in life, and you got to let go of other people's perspective. And it's not an easy thing to do. Just as Destiny said, you may find yourself in times where you're asking people, hey, what do you think about this? How should I go about this? Oh, how, what's your opinion? And many times that's because you have that self-doubt. You don't think that you can achieve what you should be achieving. You don't think that you can conquer something, or what you have put out or what you are doing isn't good enough, and you value someone else's opinion to tell you what to do. And it's okay to value others people's opinion, but just because someone is successful in something else that you aren't doing doesn't mean that they will give you the right advice to be successful in the things that you are to do in life. So put yourself out there. Take that leap of faith. Fall, fail, bust yourself wide on the face. And then you know what? Get back up. And if you got to do it again, do it again. But always have the mindset of not doubting you, that every time you get back up, every time you rebuild yourself, every time you try again, every time you take that leap of faith and you leave embarrassment, pride, shame, and all those things behind you, you're getting stronger. You're getting better. You're advancing. You're excelling. You're leveling up. You're making new connections. It's only when we allow the self-doubt to stop us, to hold us stagnant, and we get caught in comfortable situations that's when we fail ourselves. That's when life halts. That's when your faith isn't even as small as a mustard seed. See, there are people around you that you got to understand that are doing the job of building and creating more self-doubt in you. It is their job to keep you from growing. Some people are envious of what little you have, and they don't want you to have more. But when you don't know how to tap into you don't know how to move in faith, you don't build your self-worth and your confidence, you fall by the wayside of everybody else every time. And trust me, there are some people around that want you to have that self-doubt. They don't want you to advance. They don't want you to excel. And because of that, they standing in line for you to completely fall so they can take your place. So I hope you got something from tonight's show. And I hope that you understand that you got to defeat that self-doubt. It comes from many things. Heal yourself. Grieve. Go through the traumatic things of your past. Get rid of heal yourself from the trauma. Let go. That's the most important thing. Let people go. And I'm talking about those family, longtime friends and everything. Sometimes you gotta let your own daggone kids go so that you can move forward. Remember, you guys, the Stubbs Show is coming. It comes on live every Monday, 7 p.m. Replays come on the weekends and throughout the weekday. Exclusives. We're getting ready to bring more exclusives to you guys so that we can amp up having the Stubbs Show come on more often. Listen, position yourself to watch and hear things that enhance your life versus putting all that junk in. We watching people become bums and fall by the wayside. Let that not be you. Come to the Stubbs Show every Monday so I can connect you with the resources, testimonies, and things that you need to hear so you can take your leap of faith. Y'all see how I did that plug? Yeah. The Stubbs Show, you guys, I got to get ready to go. But let's get into this video that I'm finally getting ready to play from the artist by the name of Mo. I'm looking for more music. But the way things going, listen, I got a lot that I be doing. And I'm the producer of this show right now. And I need you to send me your YouTube links. Don't be sending me. I like your SoundCloud. There's a woman on SoundCloud that I would love to play her music, and it sounds really good. But I can't seem to upload it into StreamYard for some reason. Now, I could probably figure it out, but I'm just like, it's a lot of work. Make it easier for me, you guys, because I'm producing and doing productions in other areas. Come on, help a sister out. Help a sister out. Send me YouTube. Just make it simple for me. Do YouTube. All right, you guys. So I want some new music. I want some videos to play. Get on my list for next Monday. Was that bars I was spitting? Looking for some music to play. Get on my list for next Monday. Ow! Let's get your girl up on the screen. Shout out to Mo for inviting me. I just thought I was a shorty right here. Is a 10. Let me tell you, they talking about self-doubt, baby. Somebody probably sometimes be thinking, turn her confidence down, baby. I walk in the room loud as hell, okay? I ain't even got to be talking. And my energy is on 20,000. I'm like, yeah, if I walk in this room, I belong here. Life got me here. There's a reason for me to be here. And it may not be to connect with you, but I'm going to connect with whoever I got to connect with because I came out for a reason. Otherwise, I'm going to stay in the house for isolation. Let's get this show up because let's get this interview. Here we go. Let's see if it play, you guys. Your girl is on it. Let's see. Mo, this for you, boo. No, that's not my boo. You got a woman. I don't want nobody be thinking that bro. Let me say bro. Here we go. Let's see.
Man, I'm so tired of looking. I just want a simple love. Nothing too complicated, I mean. But it just seems like every time I think I found something, it turned out to be nothing, man. Like a huge disappointment and shit.
I think I finally finished the jump.
Oh, for real? Let me hear that joint.
Maybe y'all can help me out. Baby, tell me why love so hard My head is hung, I'm giving up. Tower throne, I'm all alone. I don't give a f. What do others have that I don't got? Keep passing me over, but baby, where's my shot? We hardly speak, we text and we tweet. We playing phone tag, or is it hide and seek? You keep running, I'm keep chasing, what doesn't stop? Baby girl, understand, you got my heart on lock. Tell me why. She gets so exhausted, man, just looking and looking. You know what I mean?
Where is she at?
Wait, who it?
You know who I'm talking about.
Ain't nobody
Why
here
haven't
but
you
us.
been answering your phone?
You recording?
You lying.
She just left.
Yeah, exactly. She probably left. Cause you're not answering your phone and you sit in this goddamn studio trying to make a career out of it. I'm about to whoop her and you.
For hours, just,
Where she
being
go?
stinky.
Where she at? Move.
Because if you find him, I'm ready.
Hey, so you happy? Is there anybody in there?
I got something for you cause
So,
you're lying.
so can I come over later?
No.
You can see it in my eyes, I'm running out of time. You know, I just want something to call my own. Is that too much to ask?
Hey, how you doing today?
How you doing?
Oh, what can I get you?
Let me get a beer.
You want a beer? All right.
Thank you, sweet. Thank you.
What's wrong?
Man, I had a long day. You wouldn't even believe it.
Oh, really? You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me a little bit.
They tell me not to look and it'll come to me. Have faith, abstain, the rest is history. I just want what I really think is due to me. My 5'1" hazelnut escort the ecstasy. I look and I look, I search and I search. We playing crosswords, or is it word search? You keep running, I keep chasing, what will it end? My heart hurting, feeling like I lost my best friend. Tell me why. Looking for you, girl, where you at? You can see it in my eyes, I'm running out of time. I'm so for real. I just wanna make you mine. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl, you girl. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl, you girl, you girl. You girl.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you seemed like you had a really rough day. I'm so sorry you went through that.
Oh, I did. No doubt. I like what I see, and I was wondering, can we, get together afterwards? So can I get to know you better? Can we build
Sure.
upon this?
Sure, as long as I'm not going to get any of that drama that you had earlier today.
I can promise that. I can promise that.
Let me take down your number, will you?